Hello everyone, welcome to the lab session for chapter 2. So in this lab practice, you're going to learn how to write these two web pages. So throughout this course, you're going to build this project. You're going to enhance this web pages by each session, and this is the starting point. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to explain, I'm going to write the code to build this page. Also, I'm going to explain each tag, what we are going to use to construct this web page. So I'm going to create a new folder for this lab practice, and that I'm going to create a folder for this chapter 2 lab practice. Okay, so for inside the chapter 2 lab practice, I'm going to create a new file, that is the file that the code that we are going to write here is going to be there here. So remember, always the first home page should be index.html. okay, .html should be the extension that we have to use, then only the browser can understand. And also your home page should be always index.html. The reason is, when you publish your browser and when someone searches to reach your website, the browser will always look for this index.html file in your folder. Okay, in the server, it will just look for the index.html. Okay, so always your home page should be named as index.html. Okay, so we have saved this in chapter 2. Let's get started. So remember, the first line, what should be the first line? Document type definition, right? So refer chapter 1 tutorial where I have explained what is document type definition. So where the browser will look for the first line to understand what language we have used, like what version of HTML we have used to write this coding. So since we use HTML5, that is the update, the latest version, we are saying that this is the DTD for the HTML5. We are saying that this is the we are going to use HTML5 for this coding. And what is the next line? Remember the burger knowledge that I have given. This is like a bread, so it should, all your coding should wrap up with this open HTML tag and closing HTML tag. And then it's going to have this attribute. This attribute is optional because anyway we are going to use English as a language, but even if you don't give this attribute, it will, by default, it will take English as a language. Okay, and then what is the next section? There are 2 sessions, right? So if you didn't go through chapter 1 lab session, please refer it, then only you can follow along. So there are 2 sessions, head session and the body sessions, right? So let's create the head session and body sessions. It doesn't matter the spaces and all, it doesn't matter because the browser will just ignore the spaces. Okay, inside the head session we are going to write our title. Okay, and the title is the home page for our website, Food and Fitness. Okay, this is the title. And the next one, we have to specify character encoding. Okay, so please refer chapter 1 tutorial to understand what is character encoding. So we are going to use character encoding of UTF-8. So if you're using Atom, it will give you the options for all different kind of character encoding. Okay, so good. So we are done with our head session. So the next thing that we are going to do is write the code for body session. Okay, so this is what this is where we are going to, I'll keep it here so that you can just refer it. So the body session is going to be the actual content that we are going to display here, right? So whatever you want to display here, that should be there in the body session. So what we have here, So it seems like a heading, right? Yes. So please refer the lecture for this content. Before you practice lab session, please refer the lecture for chapter 2. Okay. So H1 heading we are going to use for displaying this food and fitness. I have already wrote the code and that's why I have this page, but just for the tutorial I'm just copying and pasting the content. Okay, so the H1 code is that, and this is going to be the header. Refer the lecture for the structural elements. Okay, so there are 4 basic structural elements for each web page. Header section, this is the header section, the navigation section, and then this is the main section and this is the footer section. Okay, so this is the header section. So we are wrapping up this header with the structural element called header, right? So the next thing that we are going to write is this navigation. Okay, so the navigation should be wrapped up with the structural element called nav. Let's create a structural element called nav to keep this content. Okay, so inside this navigation we are going to create our this links, right? So you can see it is like refer your chapter 2 lecture where we have discussed about anchor element. Okay, so a tag. So we are going to use a tag to display the links. Okay, so the anchor tag should have the href attribute where you are going to give the link. Okay, so for example, here there is a home, right? Home link. So when you click this home link, it should open up the page for that link. Okay, so when you click, the clicking option should be here, the clicking name should be here, and then here so if home gets clicked, what page you want to open, that page link should be given here. So as I said, so this is our home page. When you click the home page, it should open this page. So what is the name of this page? Index.html. So you have to give the name index.html. So it should be, it is case sensitive. The names are case sensitive. So if you use small I recommend you to use small I. So it should be small I index.h, exactly the same name, only for the home page. For other pages it doesn't matter, you can use any name, but still it is case sensitive. Okay, so the next link that we are going to give is, let's copy and paste to save the time. Okay, so we have 4 links, right? So I have just copy and pasted this 4 times, just going to change the name. So the first page is going to be home, and the second page is going to be fitness, and the third page is going to be food, and the fourth page is going to be registration. Okay, so the first name is index.html and the second name is fitness.html and the third name is going to be food.html and the fourth name is going to be registration.html, the file that we are going to create. For this lab practice, you are just going to create these 2 files, index.html and fitness.html. Okay, so in the next lab practices, we will create the remaining pages. Okay, so we are done with this this creation, right? So shall we check like where we are, so that based on that we can keep working on this. So let's save this coding, and I'm going to go to this folder that I have created, and if I double click, so you can see the result. Okay, so this is what we are aiming for and this is what we have created so far. So the header looks good, but you can see this navigation that has spaces in between, but our navigation that I have written now, that doesn't have any space. Okay, so remember how to create the space. So remember we have we have discussed about special entity characters in the chapter 2 lecture. Okay, where to give the space, you have to write the special entity element. What is the element for the space? If you refer your textbook, then you can see ampersand NBSP is the element that you have to use to give space between the elements. So ampersand NBSP. So give ampersand NBSP between the elements. Okay, so it is save. Got it? So we got it, right? So the space, we have created the space. Perfect. So what is the next thing that we have to write? This content, right? So we have to write this content. Let's write the code for this. So this seems like a main. So we have done with the header element and the main element. So the next element that we are going to write, header element, navigation element, and the next element, structure that we are going to focus is main. Okay, let's write the code for that. So the next element is the main element. So let's wrap our coding in the main tag. Opening, closing, main tag. Okay, so what we want to display here, I'll keep this here. So this seems like a H2 header, right? So let's create a next level of heading, that is H2, where we want to display this content. This is the title that we are going to use. Good. Okay, so next what we are going to display is this paragraph. Food and Fitness Center offers special guidance for complete lifestyle change. You will get step-by-step guidance. Lifestyle towards the healthy and natural way, right? So we are going to display this. Remember, in lecture I have explained for the paragraph, you have to wrap your content with the P tag. Okay, so I have created P tag. Now I'm going to place this content that I want to display inside the paragraph. Okay, so you have to type it. I have already written it, so I'm just copying and pasting this content. So paragraph, so let's save this and double check it whether we are in right part. You can see we have coded it. Perfect. So the next thing that we are going to add is this list. Okay, so remember in the lecture I have explained HTML5 has unordered list tag to display the content as a list with this bulletin point. Okay, so if you refer the syntax, then you can see that UL tag for unordered list, and each list element should be wrapped up with this opening list element tag and closing list element tag. Please refer the lecture if you need more information. Okay, so here we want to display these lists. Get guidance for diet chart based on your health requirement. So that is going to be our first element. Okay, and the next element is list. So if you click, Autumn provides an option to open and close the tag, but I recommend you to do it manually until you get used to this. Next content is this one, and the third element that we are going to use is learn pranayama to strengthen your. Okay, and the fourth element is, if you just type li, you can see this green arrow. If you click to this, then it will create opening and closing tag for you. Okay, so now copy and paste this content. Perfect. So we have created our list elements. Save, and let's double check it. Perfect. So we have we are in right track. So what is the next content? This address is the name next content, right? So let's try the code for that. So remember, we have discussed about div tag in lecture. So div tag is for section, different sections. So if you want to wrap up some section, so which will be easy for us to design, right? So this is kind of a different section. So we want to use div tag to keep it separate. Okay, so this address is going to be in a div tag. So inside this div tag, we are going to place this address. Okay, and you can see this should be in the next line, right? So it will not display, the browser will not display as it is. I'll show you. And you do this, see, because it will not read these lines or spaces. So to give the next line, always you have to use the BR tag, that is line break tag. Save and then double click it and see, we have created our address. So the next thing that we are going to add is the phone number. Okay, so this is the phone number, but you can see there is much kind of little bit more space for the phone number. So all we need to do is add one more BR tag, then add the phone number, then we are all set. Okay, so save. So we have added the phone number. So what is the last thing? This footer session. Okay, the copyright and the email address. This is the footer session. So we have to add code for the footer session. So what is the structural element to create footer session? So you can see footer is the structural element that we have to create. Inside this footer, we want to display this content, copyright information, all those stuff, right? So you can see the copyright information, we have this copyright symbol, right? So for that we have to use special entity character. Okay, so you can see this seems smaller than the remaining element. So we are going to use the special entity character small, and also you can see this seems like in italics, right? So we are going to use I tag for that. Okay, so just to show you, I'm just going to write without any tags so that you can understand. So copyright symbol, remember special entity character for copyright symbol is ampersand copy semicolon, and 2020 and food and fitness, and then there is a line break here, and then here let me just show you now. Save. Do you see? We want it to be small and we want it to be italics. So what we can do for that? Small. So let's say the italic first. So this should be in italic, opening and closing I tag, and then this should be small, right? So small, that is a special entity characters that we are going to use. Remember the nesting that we have discussed in the lecture. So when the last one should be the second one should be the last one, right? So it should go in reverse order. Oh, there is a mistake. So the first one should be the last one. So you can see how it is indicating it. The atom has the facility to indicate when the nesting goes wrong. Okay. So the I should be the last one. So I put I as a first. So it indicated by highlighting it. Okay, that's great. Save. And then do you see? We got it. So that seems like we missed some line break here, because it seems like there is a space between this number and the copyright. So we missed some line break here. So I'm just adding some line break after phone number. Okay. Save. Seems like I have to add one more line break to bring that space, exact space. Okay, now it is perfect. So the next thing that we are going to add, the last thing, is adding the email address. But when you click to this email address, see what is happening. It will open up the Gmail page. So here it's opening up the Gmail page in my other screen. Okay, I'll show you. So see, it's opening up the other email provider. So whatever email that is given here, it will open up it for you. So how we are going to do it? For that, for any kind of linking, we have to use a tag and href tag. So in href tag, for the external URL, you'll be using HTTPS and the address, right? But if it is an email, instead of HTTP, you have to use this mail to anchor. Okay, so you can see when you click to this, it automatically give all those syntax. But we don't want any of these things. I'm just going to give my mail address here, and then just for clarity, instead of saying email me, I'm going to give email address as well, so that it will be visible. Okay, so perfect. So it seems like we are right on the track. But the one more thing is, we don't need to click, because you can see both are small and italic. So let's take this and put it here. Okay, so now it seems perfect. We should be all set. Save, open the page. Now we have constructed our first web page. So exactly same, everything looks same. Okay, so that's our first page that we have created. So if you have any questions, you can pause the video and refer it. Okay, so I'll upload the code as well, so for your reference. And then next page that we are going to create is fitness page. Okay, for fitness page, what I recommend you to do is, instead of writing all the code again and again, we can just copy and paste. You can see this is the first page, and this is the fitness page that we are going to, this is the fitness page that we are going to create. You can see the header is same, navigation is same, and the footer is same, only the content is going to be different, right? So what we can do to avoid extra work, we can just copy this index.html and paste it again, and just rename this as fitness.html. Already it is a HTML file. You can just say fitness. Since it is HTML, that's why you get this logo. So you can simply name this file as fitness file. So open it with Autumn editor. We are just going to change the content. Okay, so if you open the code in the editor, then you can see this is what we have. Okay, and we are just going to change the content. So here, this is not a home page, this is the fitness page. So let's change it from the title, fitness, food and fitness center, and then everything is same, header is same, navigation is same, and footer is same. So the only thing that we are going to change is main element. So just delete the content in between the main element. So leave the opening and closing main tag. Leaving that, you can just delete the other content. We are going to replace it with this content. Okay, so h2 element here is going to be our heading for this main content is going to be fitness guidance. Okay, so just type this content here in between the h2 tag, and then here refer the list element where I have explained description list. It's one type of list that we can use in HTML5. So description list will have description title and description definition. Okay, so refer the lecture for the syntax. DL like UL and OL, ordered list and unordered list. Description list have the tag opening DL and closing DL. So inside that we are going to say list element. Okay, oh sorry, not list element, DT element. So title is going to be DT. So DT description title, and then we are going to use DD for this DT title description for this. Okay, so for each list we are going to add the title and description. So here the title is going to be this content, the question is going to be the title, and the answer is going to be the description. So I'm going to place the question in the first description title, and I'm going to paste the answer. So you have to type it. I have already typed it, so I'm just copying and pasting. Okay, so perfect. So you have created your first list. So now you can just copy and paste the content 2 times. We have 3 lists. So we can just copy the content again. We can replace the title and description. So the second question is going to be, do I need any pre-training? And the answer, please type the answer. I have already typed it, so I'm just copying and pasting this answer in DD. Okay, and the next title is going to be this, do you offer online classes? Okay, for that I'm going to replace the title. And then I'm going to replace the answers. Perfect. So it seems like we are almost done because the footer, everything is same, right? So only we have changed the main content. So save this file and then go to the folder and open up this page where you can see what we have created, but you can see that there is something, the DT is not in bold, right? So but we want it to be in bold, right? So what we can do, either we can use strong or bold, whatever, but I'm going to use strong for this. Okay, so for each DT we are going to add this strong tag, strong, and close the strong. This is a special entity element for giving semantic meaning for our content, so that it will get displayed. Oh, sorry, it's only for DT, not for DD. Only the question should be in strong. So only for the DT, the title, add the strong tag. Oh. Only for the title. Wrap up the questions with the opening and closing DT tag. Save and refresh the page where you can see the questions are now in bold, right? Great. So now you have created your 2 pages. So if you click to this, it should open up. The link should work. The only criteria for the link should work is both files should be in same folder. There is different set of coding that we have to write if the files are in different folders, but since we are in basic level, right now in this session we are going to learn how to access the files within the same folder. Okay, so remember, if the link doesn't work for you, the link should work. When you click on the home page, it should open up the home page. When you click this fitness, it should open up the fitness page. If the link doesn't work, check 2 things. One thing is name of the file should be the same name, and the second thing, both files should be in the same folder. Okay, we didn't write the code for food and registration, so we have written code only for these 2 pages. So these 2 links should work. So just double check it. Great. So I'll see you in the next section. So practice it. I'll see you in the next session.